Now, we tend to see stuff like this. This is actually an owned property that's being worked on. But we tend to see stuff like this and like that down there. That's a house used to be there. Now, we tend to see stuff like this and we look at it and say, look, someone, look at how our neighborhoods are being dilapidated. You got another one down there, another gap right there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go around the corner and show you what around the corner looks like. You got this random area here. It's been like this for 30 years. Nobody's using it. Who knows who owns it? Look at this. This has been like this since I was a kid. I mean, at times it was kept up, but a house belongs here, right? And I'm not saying this to bash anybody, whoever owns these properties. I want to talk about gentrification. So, look at these houses over here. And I'll explain to you in a second why I'm showing you these. And this is actually one of the so-called up-and-coming areas of the city, Allegheny West. Look at these houses. Falling apart. It's possible that they're all abandoned. That one obviously is. Now, why am I showing you these? And then this one, this is owned. I don't know if someone is in it, but this is owned. Now, why I'm showing you this? Suppose someone came and bought these. Now, these have been sitting here for how many years? Nobody's done anything. Nobody in this community has done anything with them. Now, there's a good chance nobody in this community actually can afford to do anything with them. But that's my whole point is, here's another one, this red one. It's been like this for quite a while now. I don't think there's nobody living there. Well, you see the sign on the window. My whole point is, people, I'm gonna be real, black people who have money have every opportunity in the world to come and buy these properties. And black people have every opportunity in the world to buy these properties. Now, for whatever reason, nobody has stepped forward and came along and bought these and fixed them up and that sort of thing. Or the ones around the corner. Forgive me for sweating like this. It's hot as crap outside. Now, the point of this video is, these properties have been sitting here. Some of them probably been sitting here for 10, 15 years. Who knows? The first ones I showed you, the lot, that has been there for a couple years, like that. And suppose, like I said, no black people have bought it and came to fix it up. But suppose a foreigner came, saw the potential of this neighborhood, bought these properties and fixed them up, and then people would get mad. It's like, what are you getting mad for? There's nobody. People had plenty of time to buy these and to fix them up. Nobody wanted to do it. Nobody stepped up. For whatever reason, it never happened. Now, people say that, people say, oh, people should invest in the hood and all of this stuff. Why would somebody explain to me why someone should invest in a terrible neighborhood? Not this one. This neighborhood isn't terrible. This neighborhood is pretty decent. Why would somebody invest in one of the worst neighborhoods, like not this one again, somewhere else, invest their hard-earned money into a neighborhood that's filled with crime and that sort of thing, things that's going to bring down the property value of their investment? And why would they do that? Why? Just for the goodness of their heart? Like, the thing is, anytime you invest in anything, you're taking a risk. It's not guaranteed that you're automatically going to make money and make the money back that you made and make the gains that you made. Anything can happen. And I feel like people who own businesses, who've had their own business and that sort of thing, some of y'all know better. You can't just expect people to pump out money into areas and things like that, and then still to have like low rent and things like that. So people get mad at gentrification. People get mad at corporations or wealthy people buying places, taking places like this, buying them, fixing them up, and then I want to say raising the rent, having rent that's worth the value of the property. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, so let's say I was someone that had money, right? And I'm gonna turn around a second so you can actually see my face. Let's say I was an investor. Let's say I bought this lot right here. Let's say I bought those homes back there that I showed you. Let's say I bought those other lots that I showed you, right? Let's say the areas where there's no house, it's just ground. Let's say I built brand new houses there. Am I supposed to build brand new houses there and charge $500 for rent? Am I supposed to have low budget, like low income housing there? After putting out money to build brand new houses and that sort of thing? I'm not going to do that. I want to make my money back. I want to gain from my investment. In a brand new house with brand new stuff, maybe even some fancy stuff in there, maybe even something unique from the other houses on the block, I'm going to charge what it's worth. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So you can't complain about people not investing in the hood or whatever. But when the people do invest in the hood and they charge rent and they put the sale price to where that new investment deserves, you get mad. You say, oh, it's forcing people out. That's just how investments work. Like if I fix up my car, if I pimp out my car, if I upgrade my car, I'm not going to sell my car for the same price as what I bought it. I'm just not going to do that. And it should be common sense to anyone. That's just basic business. If I meticulously upkept my car or my home, if I added a deck, if I added solar panels to the roof or any kind of thing like that, and then I sell it, I'm going to sell it for profit. So anyone who invests in this neighborhood for profit, you have no right to be mad at them, especially if these properties have been sitting there for years and you haven't taken any initiative to take ownership of that land. Some of these plots be selling for like $500, $1,000, $5,000. That's one income check. How about you don't buy new furniture one year? How about you not ball for a year and you buy a property, right? Now, get together with some family, get together with some friends and buy some of this stuff. There are opportunities for us to make money. There are opportunities for us to improve our neighborhoods and that sort of thing. A lot of times we don't want to do it. We have this mentality that we want someone else to do it. We want the government to do it. We want black celebrities to do it. If you want your neighborhood to improve, take the initiative and do it yourself. Then you'll attract like-minded people and y'all can work together and maybe do something special. Even if you don't change your neighborhood or that sort of thing, you can still actually, have a potential to make money. But people just have a different mentality when it comes to other people's money. They expect other people to put up their money, but they also expect other people to not want their investment back. That's why people are so cheap and they try to bargain with the corner store. They try to bargain with the hair store or whatever, or they complain about prices. Because you're not an entrepreneur, because you never invest in anything, you don't understand what it takes to invest, how much risk is involved, how much money is involved in time and research. So honestly, I can understand nobody wants to see, nobody wants to see iconic neighborhoods or traditionally ethnic neighborhoods be turned white, so to speak, and that sort of thing. Nobody wants to see the people that they love lose. I don't want to say lose, but sell their homes from their childhood and that sort of thing. But that's the other part of so-called gentrification. The owners of these properties, if that property is worth $90,000 and someone approaches them and gives them $120,000 for that property, how is that taking advantage of them? It's not taking advantage of them. They're making off good. The investor's making off good. If they're a good investor and they actually build a quality building there, then the neighborhood benefits from it. Everybody benefits from it. And they do. Everybody benefits from it. So how can you tell someone? Because when you complain about gentrification, that's what you're complaining about. A lot of times it's not people being forced out of their homes. It's homeowners making a decision that is good for them And that works for them and it works for the investor. Now, I mean, maybe there are times when people's homes are stolen because of shady paperwork or whatever. That's something totally different, you know. But the general idea that it's wrong for people to invest in low income areas or poor areas or whatever. This isn't even really a poor area, but the idea that it's bad for people to invest in the hood and to expect a profit, it's just stupid. It's just flat out stupid. You don't run your home like that. If you own a business, you don't run your business like that. It's basically like people wanting handouts. People want investors to come into the neighborhoods, fix up things, rebuild things for low return. And then they also want that person to provide jobs and stuff. But they don't want that person to really make no money off of it. Like, stop looking for the white man to save you. Stop looking for celebrities to save you. There's nothing stopping you and your siblings, for example. There's nothing stopping you and your siblings other than yourselves. That's a whole nother topic. Nothing from stopping y'all from getting y'all money together one year, pooling y'all resources, or focusing on paying down y'all debt first, and then pooling y'all resources and buying some property, and then, you know, paying for it to be built or rehabbed, and then selling it. But that stuff costs money. That's why we don't do it. It costs a lot of money. But if it costs a lot of money and you don't do it because it costs a lot of money, then how can you get mad that somebody that actually does do it, that they want a return off of what they did? Y'all got to stop thinking like that. You got to, when you think about things like that, stop looking at the race aspect of it. Oh, is this more white people as black people, therefore it's wrong. You got to think about the business. There's plenty of black people who have money who can buy these empty lands. You know, that one. You got this lot, and you got that big furry forest on the corner. There's plenty of black people who got money who can do that. And even them, even the black people, why are they obligated to invest where you want them to? They're not. They're not obligated to invest anywhere. And if they choose to invest anywhere, they're entitled to a return on their investment. So they can, if you build a brand new house with fancy stuff inside, you have a right to charge of the rent value or the sell value of a fancy house with stuff inside. Everybody wants someone else to take an L for them. And that's just a terrible mentality to have. Like, these people don't, and I think part of the problem is we assume that all rich people they're rich just because they're rich. They just woke up rich, you know. It's like, even the people that got money from their parents put forth the blood, sweat, and tears needed to make them rich. There's always somebody at the tail end investing, taking risks, starting from the bottom. And you trace all wealth back. It all starts from somebody grinding. And then even when you have money, you still got to grind. Like, what, rich people don't sit around and do nothing. Like, it's weird because people tend to think, oh, that the poorer people or lower income people will automatically are hard working because of the type of work that they tend to do is hard work. So people tend to think that poor people or low income people are automatically harder workers than rich people. Man, let me tell you, you listen to any entrepreneur and they don't sleep certain days. They put in 15 hours a day. You know, I mean, they're going around the clock. They got, they're all day, they're doing stuff. They're managing their money and they're making ways to grow. They're finding ways to make it grow. The idea of a rich person is just sitting back, not doing anything. And they're just like, golfing all day. That's just not realistic. That's not what rich people do. But just to wrap up this video, if we stop looking at ourselves like victims and we start looking at our neighborhoods, and like this neighborhood right here, the closest laundromat, I'm on 35th Street. The closest laundromat, as far as I know, is on 25th Street. That's a whole mile away. It's like a whole city mile. So look at these. I mean, we got a corner store hasn't been used for a while. We have this big lot here on the corner I showed you, in that furry garden on the corner. Why can't someone put a laundromat there? It costs money. It's not easy. It's not simple. There's a lot of red tape you got to go through to actually, well, I wouldn't even say that. There's a lot of regulations you have to comply with to be able to do it. But the opportunity is there. Why not? How about, you could even say me, why don't I do it? Why don't we talk to some of the neighbors and find maybe a few that's willing and able and you get some people that's good with research and that sort of thing, and you say, hey, how much would it cost for us to put a child care center here, or a laundromat, or whatever? You know, you can have one person look up who owns up the property. That's pretty easy. You can have another person who maybe knows someone who can give them some free consultation or advice or whatever. Like, there are ways that we can do things for ourselves. You know, there are ways that we can do things for ourselves. And it's weird, because if you got a problem with your car, you will figure out how to fix your car, or you're going to find somebody who's going to hook you up. You're going to go out. You're not just going to let your car sit there on the side of you're not going to let your car sit there on the side of the road. You're not going to let if you got a big fat, well, some of us are different, but if you have a big fat leak in your basement or your roof or something, you know, most of the time you're not going to just let it fester and just sit there. You're going to find somebody to do something about it. And if you don't know someone, you're going to do research. Even if it's just asking people, that's still research. You're going to find someone who can fix the problem. So when we have real problems that affect us directly, we find ways to deal with it. You know, there's no playground around here. Since I've been, ever since I've lived around here, there's been no playground. The closest playground is 27th Street? 27th Street or whatever. That's the closest playground. Or you got Ridge of Midville, which is over a half a mile away. There's no playground here. There's no basketball court. It's the only neighborhood I've ever been in that didn't have a basketball court. So why don't we have that built? Why not? You know what I mean? So it's my whole point. And again, it's not simple or easy, but who's taking the initiative? We sit around, we complain, or we say someone else should do it. Someone else should do it. Why not we do it ourselves?